I feel like I've cracked the code on how to reach your goals, and so I'm gonna go through and show you guys how I've set myself up to reach my goals every single month. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allison. I'm 28 years old. I work in healthcare, but I also do content creation part-time on the side. I really enjoy making content about like my personal finances as well as productivity, goal setting. If you find that interesting, like and subscribe to follow along and get more content like this. Today's video is going to be my April goals update. So every single month I go through and kind of break down my 4 main categories of goals and how I accomplish them and if I accomplish them and where I may have gone wrong. I do feel like I've mastered setting goals and reaching most of my goals. So let me start from the beginning. This is how I structured my goal setting. So at the beginning of the year in January, I set up like my main goals that I wanted to reach. But I saw a TikTok that said something about how the reason you don't reach some of your New Year's resolution goals is because they're so big, right? When you set your goals in January, you're like, I want to lose 25 pounds. Okay, great. But that is a huge goal. And then when you after a month, when you don't reach that goal, you're like unmotivated, you feel unproductive, you feel like, oh, I didn't reach that goal, whatever. So what you do instead is then go by month, you go through month by month and break down that large goal into smaller goals, so that way you can still check off those goals every single month and feel like you're accomplishing your goals and slowly reach your big major goal. So that's what I've been doing. And I think it's been working out very well for me. And I break them down into 4 main categories. I do my finance goals, my personal goals, my health goals, and then my content creation goals. So I'm going to start off with my finance goals. I really like these ones because, again, a lot of my content on YouTube and TikTok is mainly focused around personal finances. These ones are fun for me and I find them like a really fun challenge. So the first goal was to pay $350 towards my car loan, which I did. I feel like that was kind of an easy goal just to check off. My car payment is $332, but I always kind of round up and pay $350 at least every month. Now that April was my last month of paying for tuition, now going forward I should be able to be paying more towards my car loan. So that's kind of why it's been in these goals, just so that I knew that once I was done paying for my tuition and our wedding, that I would have more money to put towards this car loan. But in April I didn't really have the extra money to put anything toward any extra towards my car loan, but that's okay because we will get there, and at least I'm paying my car loan plus a little bit extra, and that goes right towards the principal. And then my next goal was to pay $3,000 towards my student loans, which I did. And I set that goal because I knew that I was going to get a payout from TikTok. So I did know that I was going to be coming into a decent amount of money that I was going to put towards my student loans. That was super exciting, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to pay off my student loans this month. So that's super exciting. My next goal was to save $800 for my tuition, and I did end up saving $945, and that was because my tuition went up this last semester because they throw in a graduation fee, which is super annoying. Originally I had wanted to just save $800 because I thought that was going to be enough, but with the extra fee I ended up having to save $945. So it's totally fine. It's done now. It's over. I still have to graduate and finish this last semester, but it's 12 weeks and then I am done. And hopefully if I pay my student loans off this month in May, I'll be done. I'll have my master's degree and then no student debt. So things are looking pretty good. I also wanted to put $300 towards our honeymoon, and I only put $200, so we were close. I did not reach that goal. I also wanted to pay $300 towards my credit card debt, and I did pay $300, so that was exciting. I paid $300, but then our fridge broke, and that was $800. So our debt did go up a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. Again, I mean, we get 3 paychecks this month, so hopefully we'll just be able to get right back on track and not have to worry about that, but it's okay. I am getting a tattoo on Wednesday, like this coming Wednesday. I'm gonna vlog it. It is a little expensive and I wanted to save a little bit extra just in case like it is more than I expected, or you know, if it's less plus tip. So I did wanna, originally I thought I was gonna save like $100 for the tattoo. I ended up saving like $550, again just so that I have a little bit of extra to like play around with. So again, I feel like when I make these kinds of videos, people are like judging me, you know, saving that amount of money instead of putting more towards my debt. But in the grand scheme of things, like I was getting that tattoo no matter what. So I needed, like, it was an expense coming up that I knew that I was going to need the money for. And then if it is less than I was expecting, I can put the extra money towards my debt. But I would like to, my main thinking was like, I would like to have the money just in case, again, so I'm not paying for the tattoo with my credit card or whatever. Like I'm able to pay for it without going into debt. Like I could see how someone would be like, well then don't get the tattoo if like you're, you know, if you have credit card debt. Totally valid. I am gonna do what I'm gonna do though, so we're still gonna do it, and it's totally fine. I had on here that I was gonna save $200 for my teeth whitening that I'm getting done, and that I'm getting that done for our wedding. I didn't save anything for that, which is again totally fine. I've looked at my next few paychecks and I'm gonna save that money during like this month instead. So it's all gonna work out. It's totally fine. Again, I want to be able to pay for that without like having to put up my credit card or anything. So, and then I wanted to save $150 for my dress alterations, which I'm picking up my dress in like 2 weeks. I wanted to save $150 and I ended up saving $300 for my dress. And again, I like to show this and like explain, like I feel like long form content's easier because I can explain like the thought process behind this, because I feel like some people would be like, oh, why didn't you just save $200 for the dress and then put another $100 towards the honeymoon, and then you could have like accomplished both goals. Totally valid, but the reason I was able to save $300 for the dress was because I got money from our bridal shower, my bridal shower, and I got that in cash. And the dress lady wants cash when I go to pick up the dress. $300 is the price for the dress, the whole dress alterations, because I was gonna split it up between like this month and then like my next paycheck, but then I was like, okay, I have all the cash, so let me just save the cash for the dress, and then next month I won't have to save for the dress. I can put more towards the honeymoon or whatever. Again, that might be confusing, but it makes sense in my head. That was all my finance goals. I did pretty good, I would say. I feel like usually this section is where I do the best because I am super focused and I love to budget, and I'm really focused on like money right now and getting all my stuff paid off. Obviously having the money to pay for all these upcoming expenses. So I've been on top of my shit with my financial goals lately. Next is my personal goals. This section is pretty small. I wanted to read 2 books. I did only end up reading 1 book. I read the book Pretty Girls. I forget who the author is, but I can post a little screenshot up here. It was actually a really good book. It was pretty long though, so I feel like that's what ended up like taking me a long time. Like I'm used to reading a little more like quick reads, but I love thrillers and I love like murder mystery or like books that have a twist, and this was a very good book. It is a little graphic if, you know, people don't like that kind of stuff, or if you get like spooked easily by like, you know, murder mystery kind of things or like crime. It might be a little spooky, but I thought it was a really good book. I would recommend. So I read 1 book, and then we did have a date night. So I like to try to do a date night every single month. We just went out to dinner, but that counts. Hopefully in the summer we'll be able to like switch it up a little bit and, you know, do a little more interesting or like fun date nights. But again, I just think it's important to prioritize spending time with your significant other and like make it special instead of just like yeah, obviously we have dinner together every night, but really just like spending quality time together. Then we move on to my health goals. Alright, these are hard. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people have health goals especially at the beginning of the year, to like lose weight, eat better, whatever. I take these with a grain of salt because, you know, I have had a long journey with like health and fitness that's kind of been up and down, so I do take these with a grain of salt, and I'm just more focusing on like being a better version of myself, feeling healthier, just moving my body a little bit more. But I feel like it is helpful. Like, obviously my first goal here is to lose 2 pounds. I do feel like having some sort of like number goal or like specific goals do tend to help me, but it doesn't always, like, you know, it doesn't have to be like that for other people. I didn't lose 2 pounds this month. I actually gained a pound, but I did start a new like program this month in May, so we will see how that goes for me. I just needed a little more structure, I felt like, and again, hopefully now that the weather is getting nicer, I can go on more walks and just, again, like low impact, get my body moving. I also got golf clubs this month. My fiance's been really big into golfing lately, and 1, I want a new hobby, and 2, it's something we can do together and maybe be fun, maybe not be fun, who knows. But again, I feel like that's a good hobby to have that like keeps you active, and golfing is something you can do literally forever, so I'm excited. My next goal is to cook 1 new meal every single month, and this one I actually pretty sure I've hit this every single month. I really enjoy this because I have been wanting to get new meals going and try new things and just be a better cook in general, especially like when we do have kids. I want to be able to like make nice, nutritious, good meals for my kids. But I did make 2 new things this month. I did like a chipotle chicken pasta thing, so I made the sauce by myself. We have this like blender bullet thing, so I did make like a cottage cheese chipotle sauce, so that was cool. And then I made this like barbecue chicken and mac and cheese, so I made the mac and cheese sauce by myself, and again made it with like cottage cheese, so it was high protein, and it was actually really good. I was surprised because it looked a little suspicious at first, but it was really good. And then this month was, so when I first started this, I had originally wanted to do like no alcohol, just because like I know it doesn't make my body feel very good. Then I had kind of moved it up to like 1 day of alcohol, but April was busy, and April was also my bridal shower and bachelorette. So I probably should have just known and like increased that a little bit, but I was at like 5 days. But obviously we had some big events and things for the wedding, so I'm not like upset about that or obviously like harsh on like those kinds of things, but I should have known better, basically. My final section is the content creation section. Again, like my finance section, I really like this one because this is where I've been like kind of focusing a lot on lately, because I do really enjoy content creation and hope that at least at some point in my life I can make it part of my career, or at least make a decent amount of money from it. So this month I had a goal to make $400, and it's funny because the reason I set this goal was the main goal is to make $100 extra every single month. Like starting from like January, the goal was 100, and then February 200. It's funny because the last few months I've been over my goal, and this month I only made $190. So it really just does go to show that it fluctuates greatly, and it's not consistent. I think eventually it could be like, and hopefully eventually it will be. But as a small creator, like, this is just like me being transparent. Like, it is very inconsistent, and obviously some months you do really well and some months you don't do very well. It is extra income, so no matter what, it is extra income that does help me, and it's money that I'm making just from doing something that I enjoy doing. My next goal, and I don't think I have yet to accomplish this goal, but I do want to try and post once a day on TikTok every single day, and I missed like 6 days. I feel like I was in kind of a slump this month. Typically in my notes app I have like a list of all the videos that I want to make. I don't know, something this month was just like off, which is again totally fine. When you're a content creator, it's hard because your life is your job and you need to film everything or feel like you need to film everything, and sometimes you just don't want to, and you're not always gonna be like in the mood to film everything, and that's totally okay. Obviously I do feel like that also probably affected, you know, how much money I made, because TikTok, again, and like any platform, consistency on posting and creating content is very important. Just something to keep in mind. But again, those could have some sort of correlation to each other. And then I did want to post 4 videos on YouTube, and I posted 6 long form. Have been posting some shorts as well, and I feel like those are kind of fun. Some of those do well, some don't, but again, totally fine. But I do feel like some of those videos also get me a good amount of followers, so having the variety is pretty cool. And then maybe even people who watch those will end up watching my long form videos. I did post 6 long form videos this month. I wanted to hit 500 subscribers. I started at 304 and I ended at 507. So that was actually really, really exciting because, again, that was a goal that I set for myself that was kind of like a reach goal, and I kind of didn't think I was gonna reach that. So that was really fun. I feel like YouTube is kind of the more fun platform for me right now because it's definitely more challenging than the other ones, and it's a little more scary. It takes a little more time. Making the videos takes longer. Editing the videos takes longer. It's definitely more of a challenge, so I do find that fun, and like setting these goals for myself is really fun. That was really exciting goal to reach, especially because in order to get paid on YouTube, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and also like a certain amount of watch hours. So I'm halfway to the subscriber amount, so that's exciting. And then my last goal was kind of funny. I wanted to hit 80,000 followers on TikTok, which again was kind of a reach goal for me. Again, TikTok is so inconsistent because last month I gained over like 30,000 followers. So I was kind of like, oh, maybe this momentum will keep going. I actually lost followers this month. I started at 73,000 and I'm ending at 72.7 thousand. But I think that that's normal because, a lot of people followed me from like this one viral video that I had, and then, my videos probably kept coming up on their For You page, or, if they go on their like following page and maybe they were like, no, this girl's content doesn't really like align with like what I want to be seeing. And that's totally fine. Like I'm not going to be for everybody, and that's totally fine. Definitely very interesting because I was gaining followers but also losing, so it kind of just like evened out. But I didn't really have any like big viral videos this month, so I didn't reach that goal, but that's okay. The chase of the next viral video is what keeps you going, and yeah, it's pretty fun overall. Those were my goals for April and how I did. I actually feel like this month probably was the least amount of goals that I achieved, but I still feel like setting it up this way really, really helps me achieve my goals. And it also is a nice way, I keep it in my notes app to look at it, make sure like I'm on track, see what I still need to do to accomplish my goals. But I highly recommend trying this out and seeing how it works for you if you have certain specific goals that you want to reach in a certain amount of months. It's very helpful, it's very motivating, and definitely keeps me on track with my goals. I'm going to quickly run through my goals for the month of May. I like to end these videos with my next goals for the next month, and then I'll do a follow-up video at the beginning of May to see how I do on these goals. Alright, so I'll run through these quickly. Again, I'll start with my finance goals. So in the month of May, I want to save $300 for a house fund because now that a lot of my bigger expenses are done, I'm going to try and focus on saving for a house. I also want to pay $650 towards my car, which again, now that I have a little bit more like freedom with my money, I can put more towards my car. I also want to pay at least $500 towards my student loans. I am thinking that I'm getting my tuition reimbursement this month, so if that is the case, I will be able to pay off my entire student loan, so stay tuned if that happens. And then I want to put $1,300 towards my debt. Super exciting, my credit card debt. And then save $150 for my teeth whitening, and that isn't until June, so I have a lot of time. But also, I think these numbers are a little higher this month because, again, in May I get 3 paychecks, so I'm able to break things down a little bit differently. So these aren't the normal numbers. I feel like May will be a good financial month for me. Personal goals, I want to read 2 books. I think I will be able to reach that this time because last month I did start a second book. Already I read on my Kindle, so I'm like 40% done that book. So I should be able to read 2 books at least this month. And then I want to do a date night And I think this month our date night will be going to the driving range and then getting ice cream. And I also have on here to get my new tattoo, because that is a personal goal of mine. And I think it's funny because obviously, I mean, if I chicken out, I won't get it, but it's just really a goal that I have on there because I'm gonna check it off no matter what. Health goals, again, as usual, I want to lose 2 pounds. Hopefully I will. I also want to cook 1 new meal. And then I have on here 2 days of alcohol. We'll see what happens. I don't really know. And then finally, my content creation goals. I want to make $500 from any of my content platforms. I also am going to continue setting my goal to post once a day on TikTok. Hopefully this month I can achieve that. And I also have a goal to post 5 YouTube videos and reach 750 YouTube subscribers, and that is now like 50 more than last month. Hopefully I can reach that. And then lastly, I lowered this goal to hit 75,000 followers on TikTok because I'm starting at 72.7, but we'll see. Again, you never know. If you have 1 viral video, you can get 30,000 followers. Yeah, I think these are pretty good goals to set for myself in May, and I will see you guys at the beginning of May. Do a little update, check in, see how I did on these goals. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.